worried if they can maintain that performance because they looked terrible in the last match alone. But it's time to head into our casters. I'm sorry, Seven and Max will hear predictions later on. So we're back on over to John Allen and Blake.
Thank you very much, Jason. I'm glad that you managed to get your prediction whilst taking all the time away from your analysts. I really think that's a good one. But we are going to be watching Enigma Galaxy, to be fair, in this game, right? We're going to be paying a lot of attention to them because they had their top spot bumped from them in that fight, in that last game, with a pretty spectacular win coming through from Next.
Yeah, and I think that their last Miramar kind of was off the back of a bad situation gone good, right? It's one of those weird scenarios where they head all the way down towards that southern coast, pick up a compound they don't think anyone's going to aggress upon, and then suddenly the circle is right on top of you, and you're in a very good position to actually pick up a chicken dinner. Unfortunately, they're not able to translate that into a chicken dinner with Alpha 7 just playing out of their minds in those final moments, Santa Texa in particular. But, you know, they still got a fair bunch of points from here on Miramar, which is not usually where I expect Enigma Galaxy to get most of their points from. Pachinki starting point for them on Erangel is extremely good. Similarly, the Sandhawk feels like they've got that down to pat now. Miramar is a little bit more of a place where I expect things to be slightly different for this team of Enigma Galaxy. Checking out these other drop spots though, John, you know, fairly similar. We're seeing DXAV head up towards El Azahar, but it is Alpha 7 heading all the way up to Campo Militar. Now, they're really getting out the way a lot of times now in this lobby.
Yeah, and they are going to be right in that northern side, staying out of problems, staying out of trouble, but how long is that going to last them, right? If they're currently sat in 4th place, is that all they're destined for here? Because it's not really, again, if you're playing like that, you're not playing to win, you're playing to not lose, really, I think is the way I'd put it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good way to put it. And I think for Alpha 7, you know, there's already that confidence. There's lacking almost when they don't go for that fabled boot camp drop over on Sandhawk and instead head over towards that northwest island and decide not to challenge there. I don't think by any means Alpha 7's a bad team whatsoever. In fact, I think they are definitely probably the best. In fact, no, I'll rephrase it. I think they are the best in West. I think that there is reasons behind that. They are just one step ahead of everyone else. I think that they can play on par with the Eastern teams. But about taking them towards 6-2-8 though, just one player should be easy enough for him.
Well, it did look a little bit ropey, a lot of damage. Look at that, pumped into 6-2-8, but
jeez,
they get away with it. They get away with it. They'll be all right. And they're still in loot phase, which means that damaged armor can be replaced, can be just repositioned and get that healing on board as well.
Yeah, and with our esports settings, you know, there's going to be a lot more loot lying around for these teams anyway, but Fenerbahce down to already just 3 is not great for them. You know, they're sat in 13th place with only 15 points total, which is not good whatsoever. But I think we need to start looking towards the middling areas of the table at the moment, because I think we've given a lot of love down towards those players at the bottom, a lot of love down towards those players at the top, but not really towards these middling teams. So I'm looking at Nova, Team Secret, Down One. You know, Down One really dropping the ball that last game. And I know we might have said, oh, shit, don't do this to me, please.
Uh-oh.
You know, there's 2 in there.
He's hiding behind the
best time for it.
He's hiding behind that OnePlus phone. Watch out, Nox. He's behind the OnePlus phone. Oh dear. Daoshi, he strikes on out, gets a lot of damage, but doesn't find the knock there. Actually going to be chasing this one up. Knows. Doesn't know the floor
my
that
God.
he's been going to. Drops down the stairs instead. There's some crossfire, and the rest of 6-8 now there for the backup. So Daoshi a little bit more, I was going to say safe, but Sunan gets pelted with a nade there from the side. Doken Machine putting the hurt down.
Yeah, really well played. Now, Nox can actually start to get into this fight. Molotov over through the side did actually spell a nasty end to them on their previous angle with the Molotov. Daoshi somehow finds that shot. Doken Machine equally takes a bit of damage.
Yu Yang spots the Molotov burning out, and they push out the building. And look at that. Goodness me. Daoshi on a tear for 6-8.
So, beautiful stuff from 6-8 there. Yeah, there was a little bit of clap back. I also love that 33Z just opted not to join the fight whatsoever. He's got his Vector in hand. And delete just the final remaining remember for Fenerbahce here. Let's see what they can get done, but I think 33Z should have this one. He's full HP. He's not done too much, and he's ready to put his name on the casket. The final player from Fenerbahce.
Don't think they know where he is, though. They're worried about this building, but they've overshot by 1. This is not the sort of neighbors. Yeah, it's not the sort of neighbors you really want here for Fenerbahce.
Yeah, just trying to keep it clean, keep it safe for the time being. I don't think anyone's finding him anytime soon. Fully boosted up with a UMP in hand. You can see him there on your bottom left. He is full in concentration mode, just listening for any kind of sound cues that he might be able to leave. There is a vehicle. Potentially that's them faking him out though, so he's got to really be careful. I respect the patience here. Anyway, back to my previous point about these middling of the pack teams. You know, Team Secret, really one that does surprise me a lot here. You know, 8th place, 29 points. I do think they look a lot better than they did in those league finals. You know, when we were looking back on that, John, it really did feel like Team Secret kind of hanging on by a thread towards the end of that one. I mean, they didn't even play it, right? They were just holding out for hope. I think that Team Secret, you know, there has been a resurgence for them here in the grand finals themselves. So I want to see more from them. They are still experimenting, though. They're probably the team that's had the most sub-ins so far, you know, mixing and maxing out Kid as well as Mad Toy. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that. We all know how good of a leader Mad Toy is. So perhaps, you know, on those messier maps like Sandhawk, it's good to have Mad Toy in there so you can kind of lead them a little bit better in a map that is quite messy.
Pika receiving the push from Godlike, and we'll get the first knock. Not really too many first aids, actually none there. For Pika, only down on the bandages, and 2 players from Godlike are still waiting in the wings. They're going to start to push on up. Jonathan's on the flank, and that's easy pickings from the Beast from India. Jonathan gets the flush as well. Stalwart lose player. 2 from Godlike have fallen down, and Top around the rocks, maybe looking for more action as well. Very split. And against Clutch God, it's 2 1v1s really at this point here. Neither team really look at a regroup. Jonathan pops a nade over the top to Top. Action spraying around with a micro Uzi, not really finding too much.
Yeah, another nade goes into there, and Clutch God's in a precarious situation now because the nades are just taking a blow. They're kind of funneling him into a position where he can get shot at by enemy team. And so Top will finish that one off. Unfortunately for Godlike, you know, this push has just gone all topsy-turvy for them. And Scry's in a great spot with these nades, as well as the Molotovs. And I think this is the good thing from Stalwart, is they're very patient with these fights. They know they don't have to go fully toe-to-toe with Godlike at the moment. Do get majority of the players back up, though. So now there is a position for them to take. But Scry on this off-angle, beautiful stuff, takes one down and will take the momentum out the sails here.
Scry in danger, though, as Neo sends out wide. Neo moving down from the top with Jonathan as well, and just gets strafed on there. Neo falling. Now it's back to a 2 versus 2. Resist potential, maybe, to come on through for Godlike as well. Action over the top around the side. Neo goes down first, and Jonathan takes the tickle. Top sliding down the side, but it's not going to matter. The last frag comes on through, and it's eliminations. 3 total coming in for Stalwart.
They'll take that one. It's not the best for them, to be honest with you. Only 2 players remaining here on Miramar. You really want to have 4 come into those final moments. So just like Dave says, might be time to snake it to make it here in these final moments of the game. Action taking a fair lick of damage coming through from 7. One of my favorite players actually is Rip7. You know, I've seen him do so many ridiculous stuff over towards S2G. You know, when he's the last member alive, you still never can count this boy out because he is so clutch on S2G. So keep an eye on him. If you want to, you should do, into the future. Stalwart, though, down to 2. Like I said, it's not the best thing in the world for them. And holding on to this 3rd place spot, not going to be too easy now, especially now you're down to 2 players. So, like I said, with the Dave call-out, snake it to make it. It's time to make it happen for Stalwart.
See how much further they can go. Still got 2 of them. Can't count Top out. Try saying that 5 times
I thought
fast.
you were just trying to say I can't count.
I cannot count. I've been hiding it for too long. It's been weighing down on me. I can't count. That's it. I just had to say it.
Okie dokie. Looking at this, Daoshi moving forward, you know, 6-8. Actually, a fairly decent start to their game versus Fenerbahce. Luckily, you know, they were all split quite heavily, and 6-8 were able to pick up on that, which went out well. Down 1, though, they're in close quarters combat with some players from Enigma Galaxy at the moment. Enigma Galaxy heavily split. You see Frozen there on our screen. The boy who really brought it back to bear in that last match. Really, really good stuff versus Down 1. We have a quick interview dropping in.
Ya şöyle diyeyim, mesela bir yere kafa girdiğim zaman ve bir yere push attığım zaman Yekta beni en şekilde supportlamaya çalışıyor. Hani adamlara özellikle pick etmemeye çalışıyor ve ben rahat oyun kurabileyim diye. İkinci olarak da Kudur, rotasyon konusunda birbirimize çok yardım ediyoruz. O bana yardım ediyor, ben ona yardım ediyorum. O konuda o beni rahatlatıyor ve Nihat da hani ön kısımda kaldığımız zaman, hani rakiplerle yakın temasa girdiğimiz zaman, hani benim yanımda bulunarak rakiplere üstünlük avantajı kurarak, yani sayı avantajı kurarak onlara alabilmemiz için yardım ediyor yani bana.
Yeah, that's pretty good to hear. I mean, really working as a team as well. Unfortunately, maybe not doing so well here. To be fair, he's talking about how. That was pretty bad timing. I'll be honest. That's shocking. Oh no. Oh no.
I love that.
But it's just frozen again. I mean, yeah, that's probably the worst timing for that interview you could possibly have asked for.
I think this is the first interview curse we've ever had on a cast in esports ever. A mid cast here, so very unfortunate. I love how Frozen was saying, you know, they really help my rotation. Nihat comes in and saves us, and honestly, they all just die. So
Yeah.
sad news here. But we do get a replay from Frozen. Really good stuff. Honestly, look at the swivel on this guy. And I think this is the main thing for me. Look, it's not that Damwon misplayed this. I think it's just purely Frozen outplaying Damwon in those final moments. Really, really well done. Just huge mechanical skill coming out from this guy. And it makes sense because a lot of what he said there is that the team supports him. So he's kind of like the turret they carry with them around the map.
There's plenty of gunfire going over on the hillside. Then we're around the edge with the M249, but the rest of his team, not so lucky. Freak standing up for Enigma Galaxy. Of course, used to be top dogs, but again, they're suffering. 4 rivals, plenty of them knocked, a lot of damage sent their way, and Enigma Galaxy lose to pretty lickety split. Blank, he was talking about, you know, it's the tip of the spear that kills you, right? But it's really the shaft that makes it useful.
That's true. In what context?
When you stab people with spears, which is a regular everyday occurrence, right?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you just thrown this one at me. I like it.
From Frozen, I'm going back to the Frozen points.
I see.
Sorry, yeah,
I see. So you're saying Frozen's the tip of the spear, but the team is the one that wields him. I understand now. Really, really good stuff, John. I love your little metaphors you throw in now and again.
Feeling pretty Greek about it.
Yeah, I bet you are, mate. I bet you are. Looking at the map, though, we are having our circle sent up towards Hacienda del Patron at the moment. San Martin currently held by 628. The Infinity coming in hot on the heels, but not looking too hot in their elimination category, right? 4 eliminations total. I mean, just off that last game, remember they went down in 3rd place? They had 0 eliminations that game, John. So I don't know what's happening with the Infinity, but something's wrong. Something's clearly wrong. Down 1. Just passing by. Enigma Galaxy are rotating in 1 vehicle. Could be bad if the shots go off, but it's more Damwon taking damage than Damwon giving it.
Well, they're all in 4 separate vehicles, which means they can't return fire there, which is probably the only reason that Enigma Galaxy were able to stay so close to that
just
rotation.
Yeah,
they just, I mean, yeah, that's fair. You could roll a little bit, but then you're slowing down. You're a sitting duck for that spray. And as long as the driver's keeping you level, I mean, it's dangerous.
It is very dangerous, you know. I completely agree with John. Now, Solwart right in the center of Hacienda del Patron. So there is opportunity here for Solwart to actually pick up a few more placement points. Unlikely that they're going to be able to pick up anything else. Max, I don't know why you talk about 4 rifles, man. Like, they're running themselves over now.
Oh, no.
But honestly, look, I'm going to disagree with Max right now. And I don't disagree with Max very often because he is one of the smartest guys I know. And the amount of value he brings to that desk is massive. It's massive, all right? But I will disagree with him on this case because I think he was talking about 4 rivals and how they didn't do much in most of their games of League Finals, yet they were doing something here. But if we realistically looked at them that last game, they started in Rozhok, on Rozhok Hill, they moved down to Warehouse, stood there for basically the majority of the game, and then threw themselves at another team and died. I do think it is the same 4 rivals we're seeing from League Finals, unfortunately. And I'm not sure what it is, but there seems to be a sudden urgency placed on them at that 22-minute mark where they feel like they have to do something crazy. And I just wish 4 rivals would keep their gameplay as slow as it is for those first 20 minutes.
just slowing things down. I mean, it might be the solution for them, but at the moment they're sat in 9th place, blank. Yeah, it's not great, but I'll tell you what that does get you. That gets you $34,500 US, getting 9th place at the end if you're able to stick out there. So I feel like that's even if you're not playing super great, that's still pretty good. You do want to be a little bit further up as those jumps do start to really add up as you get up the tables from there, but they should be okay. They should be okay. The question is, do you want to be okay or do you want to be the greatest?
Yeah, I mean, but that's 4 rivals all the way, right? It's a 4 rivals result of 9th place, honestly. That's how it was in the league finals. It's how it was in the league play as well. They eked their way in. They didn't do poorly. They didn't do amazingly either. They know how to get to the end of the games. They don't really know how to close them out. Checking out this replay, though.
Oh. No.
How is
like
he
it.
knocked himself? Because he got run over by his teammate. So that, and you can't run over your teammates.
It's
I'm
vehicle
very
right away.
confused.
It's vehicle right away.
It's true, and you're in the way of that vehicle, man. That's all we have to say to you. Down One Gaming currently circling on the Infinity and Stalwart's position. Stalwart trying to go for this this Sun Tzu play, which is act strong when you're weak. And honestly, they're holding down one of the strongest compounds in the circle just as 2, and that's fair play to them. You know, if you can kind of keep people at bay that way, they don't know you're 2. You just have to send some warning shots out. But again, that does put you at a little bit of a disadvantage. One of you goes down, there's only 1 guy shooting. You know, some people might start to think to themselves, maybe there's only 2 guys in there.
Did Sun Tzu say that? That's pretty good. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, act strong when you are weak. Act weak when you are strong.
Ah, that's pretty. It's pretty enlightening. After
You like that?
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You throw it in
About-
the shaft analogy. I'm
feeling Greek. You're feeling Chinese.
A little bit Chinese. It's good stuff.
There you go. We're going all over today. I mean, to be fair, it is the Global Championships. We've got teams from all over the world fighting it out for the top spot. And at the moment, the top spot held by the Turkish team next Ria. And they've been doing pretty well.
They have, yeah. Honestly, this game has gone very poorly for them. At one of the worst times, honestly. And if anyone clips that, I don't blame them because it was very funny. But Furious Gaming trying to get away from Alpha 7 at the moment. Now, I respect Alpha 7's play here coming on from the northern side. Worked out very well for the Infinity over on that East League, playing from the northern side of Miramar. A lot of teams don't tend to play up here, or at least in East League they didn't. But here we're seeing Furious Gaming play on this side of the map. Nova's on this eastern side. S2G's up here as well. So I think there's more emphasis on the northern side of the map. So Alpha 7 might be struggling just a little bit with the West coming in here and filling a few of those gaps on the northern side of Miramar. And I love to see this. It's really shifting up the gameplay of what we're seeing from both these regions combined.
Alpha 7 taking shots. Furious Gaming just getting peppered. It's such a difficult movement here on the northern edge, but Alpha 7, they're not out of the woods. They do have to move themselves, and everybody's looking their way. The amount of gunfire that they've been sending out, they've got a lot of attention.
Absolutely, and I think Alpha 7 taking 2 knocks here is horrendous, personally. You know, you have a really good little line to play from, yet you're taking knocks back, and that might be just a case of Furious Gaming having a fantastic little rundown for themselves. They've got a few off angles here. Pappy, obviously, off in the distance. Not the greatest position. We will get to see the zone shrink in exactly 6, 5, 4. I'm not going to do it the entire time, guys. That would be cringe. Sorry. But we will see it next. Heads down towards that southeast side. Goodness me. Nova very happy with this one.
Ooh, Furious Gaming holding off the push, and 2 players from Alpha 7 go down yet again. Look at this. They're stuck out in the sticks. The shift goes down southeast and away from them, so they're going to have to move again. And they're going to have to move pretty fast out of the settlements. And Navi now on the south side with a chance to control a little bit of ground here.
Yeah, really good position for Navi with this lineup. And honestly, when they get rolled in, they really do get rolled. And that's the kind of thing which is go from a snowball into an avalanche from this team. Creo, it'll do a little bit more damage, but actually it's Nova from an incredible distance taking shots towards this fight. You can see Paraboy finishing off Revo there as well. And I think that's a few more shots coming their way too. Furious Gaming, I believe they have 1 remaining player, but it's just so many people with eyes on towards A7 at the moment, and that is the risk you run playing from that northern side. And surprisingly, it's Furious Gaming who outlive Alpha 7.
They are going to stay alive. Tiger's in the smoke. I think S2G know there's a guy here. Yeah, look at this. Silas just cooking the nade over the top. Not quite going to land it, actually, there. Rip 7 over the way as well, but S2G can't dally here too long. They have to get on their bikes. Whatever vehicles they have available. A little bit too long on the cook there for Rip 7, and a nade sent back, landing perfectly right next to two of them. And he's going to get one. Silas goes down, Rip 7 low, but he's going to fall in the meantime. The blue at the heels, and S2G, they're suffering. They didn't move fast enough.
4 rivals coming against Ralph, the remaining player from Enigma Galaxy, and he ruins 4 rivals before he is taken down himself. But the 2 players that went down earlier for Enigma Galaxy, Ralph gets vengeance, lives out on Sandhawk, but frags out here on Miramar.
Nova on the east, Navi on the south. It's going to be difficult to leave these compounds, to leave these buildings, get towards this open ground. Team Secret, Kid trapped in the blue, nothing to do. Down 1 Gaming, make the cross.
It's a huge amount of damage though for along the way. Infinity taking shots as well, but it's Junie holding this one down. Massive nade comes over his way. I can only believe that was from Solwat themselves. Just the 2 players making this one happen. I'm getting flashbacks to BTR, but it's Stalwart now.
Trying to hold out Top and Action. If there's 2 players left that you want on this team, it is Top and Action. Another player from the Infinity falls. They got 6 elims this time around, so they've more than doubled that count for themselves. But they will not be going any further. Down 1 eliminated as well on the northwestern side. From these buildings, nothing but death seems to come for so many of these teams.
5 teams remaining now, John, and Stalwart's one of them. A hell of a challenge here in this game, and they've overcome it. Really, really well done. I think a 5th place, regardless of what happens now, is beautiful for Stalwart with the beginning they had. Nades coming through from Sunan. See what you can get done with this one. It's a long-range one. I feel really bad for S2G because they whiffed 3 nades, in which case, you know, Tigers in comes back with an absolute corker of a nade, gets almost 2 of them. 6-8, rocking up the position. I believe they only have 3 players alive. Now Top has to stop this one from going through. Nice nade, though, begins the fight.
Gets a lot of damage. Action as well, bobbling one up towards Sunan. If he steps too close, could be dangerous. Top back and looking for some healing as well. Sunan doesn't have the info, but he knows where Action is. Pushes around the side, allows him to get the gun out, but it's not going to matter. Sunan gets away cleanly, and Top now looking for some retribution as Navi looking to enter the fight as well. Top has the spray. He's looking good, and he finds one more. Yu Yang, though, puts the final nail in the coffin, gets that final elimination. But in the meantime, Navi have swept this hillside. They have control on the south.
Nova just down to Paraboy remaining. Final player for this team. It's the last guy you'd want alive as well. He has just been storming it throughout the East League and now comes into the grand final. We're put down by Duck off in the distance. Deke Xavier hold out strong for a little bit longer, but it's Navi who are starting to sweep now. And if there ever was a broom in the lobby, it would be Navi themselves because they leave Miramar clean.
So much sand everywhere. You'd think it'd be too difficult, but no. The boys of Navi really strengthening their position now. You can see Tixi covering this angle. Yu Yang looking to get that healing off and will do so, but Tixi giving them the run around. He has complete broadside view on Yu Yang. Needs to be careful of 33Z and isn't overstepping. This is good from Tixi. I like it.
Yeah, this is honestly a case of just holding back the rabid dog that we know Tixi can be and just keeping them at bay. But now looks for at least 1 flush there. Another elimination on board. 33 so it goes out, but they'll finish him off, and now just 2 players remain. Now this is the Navi that we want to see, and it's so frustrating watching Navi at times because we know how good they are, yet that fire, we just don't see it out of them sometimes. Most of the time we see that ember and then suddenly a bonfire and then back to an ember again. We'll see if Navi can finish out this game, though I've seen stranger things happen on Miramar.
I mean, they started this game with I think about 12 points coming on through. So a chicken dinner here would be phenomenal to launch them up those standings, get them back in that conversation. Deke Xavier with the duo, Duck and Lamborghini, hunkered down.
Keeping it quiet for the time being. Fingers on lips, trying not to make too much noise. I think Navi has a clear idea of where they are, though, regardless of the amount of decibels these 2 players are putting out. And this is just going to be a slow sad suffocation through for DXavier. All angles are now covered.
But they're not really doing anything. They're just trying to survive. Maybe they think that there's still other players alive, still other teams going.
Honestly, sadly, at this point in time with the circle we've got here, where DXavier have to move out into open ground, Navi's playing this perfectly. They don't have to move. They can play outside of the circle as well because they know they have the entirety of the angles over on this eastern side, the western side, and the south side. They've cleared it all out. They know that there is only one location that DXavier can be. And I really like this. This is very, very surgical coming through from Navi.
They're playing passive, and I don't see it going any other way than them just clenching this one down. They get the vision. Kitsune has the side swipe. One does get taken down. Tixi felled. The Lamborghini low and does get knocked. Just ducked now, and they have the off angle. Meku looks to wing out and handle it. Navi take the chicken dinner.
Great finish there from Navi. You can hear the crowd cheering as well. It's not a virtual crowd, it's real. It's in my room. All the hundreds of them in this tiny office. However, Navi finishing out that game very, very strong. And again, this is the bonfire that I want to see come through from Navi because they are a fantastic team. But you can see them, they're not celebrating as of yet. There's still a long way to go. The high fives are coming through. That's fine. I like it. But I think that this team knows that there is still